The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the July 10th, the terrific Thursday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day, and let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. Now, the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, means we can find the gift in every set of circumstances that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstances of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But even more important than that, and that's this. During this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to send me an email. Send it up to Steve at TFNN.com. Inside the subject heading, please put radio show question. Of course, if you're inside our Tigers Den, well, then any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on Terrific Thursday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Well, we begin our day here with a mixed bag. You got the Dow up 250 points, S&P's up 10. NASDAQ 100's off 85. Russell's up 13. Transports are up 526 points. That's a 3% move there. 38 points for the semis. To the upside, 42 to the downside for the NASDAQ Composite. Gold is up $5. Silver's up 45 cents. Light sweet crude is back $1.27, and natural gas is up 8 pennies today. I've got the XLB charts up on my screen simply because they are completing a daily TD9 count top today. Now, at the same time that they're going to do that, it looks like, unless there's some type of big sell-off tomorrow inside the building materials sector, it's going to negate a weekly TD9 count top. We've seen this before out here. This is chart after chart after chart is doing the same kind of thing. Now, when you negate a TD9 count top in one session, it tells you about a very strong upward momentum move. In other words, what I'm saying is I'm not expecting that the TD9 count on the daily time frame for the XLB is going to do anything more than maybe a 2-day pullback and a pullback towards its oscillator and change down around 90.84. Monthly time frame chart is suggested to move up to the top of its profile. That's at 95.58. That, I believe, is the only daily TD9 count signal that I've got through this list here of instruments that, we just kind of monitor out there. So that's what's going on there. Let's move from here, take a look at what's going on inside the New York Stock Exchange, the advanced client oscillator, which is still above zero. That provides buyers with an edge. We can see that on the New York Stock Exchange, prices trade above its green oscillator and change line. It's trading inside its July 3rd swing point. It should go tackle that swing point. That means get up to the high of 27.4238. A close above that level negates that signal, suggests that we continue to move higher. Spot VIX below that gold line out there. That's the 50-day exponential moving average. That's printed at 1933, while the spot is printed at 1588. That provides an edge for buyers out there. So with regard to the markets, New York Stock Exchange, its advanced client oscillator and the spot VIX index and its 50-day moving average line provide buyers with a edge out here. If we go take a look at I'm just closing things out while I can, just to speed things up just a tad. If we take a look at the daily equity future contracts out here, what you're going to notice is right now, if you take a look at the Russell 2000, so the Russell 2000 yesterday, some of you may have noticed it, both the IWM and the Russell 2000 cash index negated their TD9 count tops. They are in a strong upward momentum move. You didn't need me to tell you about that, but you did need me to tell you that they negated their TD9 count tops. Now, the Russell 2000 equity future contract is attempting to do the same today. It will accomplish that task with a close above 2280. We're trading at 2281.10 right now, so the close is going to be important. support. Watch that. A close above 2280, and the Russell 2000 is in full breakout mode for the three instruments that we use to track its conditions. The Dow Equity Future Contract, which does have a TD9 count top, may have bottomed. We had a 2-day pullback out there in strong bull markets. That's basically what you get is a 2-day knee-jerk reaction. Secondly, you've got price that pulled back and has tested and rejected that green oscillator and change line. Those are bullish conditions out there. Now, they're bullish conditions, but they still have resistance because price is trading inside its profile. And that profile on a daily time frame is up at 45,177. The NQ does not have a topping pattern. Price remains above the top of its profile, 22,934.75. And as long as that condition remains, we're likely to see a further rally. Now, we'll really get a rally going inside the NQ if we see a close above its green oscillator and change line, currently printed about 23,073. The ES Mini is traded above its green oscillator and change line. That tells us it is traded above the top of its profile. That says don't even think of shorting it. This wants to go at least tag that high, that TD9 count top out there at 63.33.25 out there. Now, I don't know what's going on intraday, so when I made the comment that I made, I'm talking about on a daily time frame out here. Not unless price gets back below its green oscillator and change line would it indicate that it's going to do anything other than go after those highs and more likely than not take out those highs out there. So that's what's going on the daily time frame for the equity future contract. If we go dive down just a bit, we take a look at what's going on intraday out here, and we start off with the NQs. What do we see? That's a great question. I'm just waiting for the charts to populate before I answer that question. What do we see? You know, we see, as we discussed yesterday, we have a number of tops up at these highs, intraday tops, that is. The one that's most important, probably the high from back at about 1:15 in the afternoon at the 23,102 level. We haven't taken that area out. That's on the NQ. On the 240-minute time frame, it's a TD9 count and a Rhodes momentum indicator top. You close above 23,102 there. That takes care of that. And 23,112, let's call it 23,112, is where the NQ needs to close above to get rid of those intraday topping patterns and signals that are out there. What I don't have here is a strong sense of support as to where prices pulled back to. I guess that support level, that strong sense is going to have to come from the 5-hour and the daily time frame. 5-hour daily time frame. 5-hour chart is at 22,901, and of course the daily time frame is up at that 22,934 level. Maybe the ES Mini has provided us with some better information. Let's go check that out. In fact, what we actually ought to do is put up the Russell 2000 equity future contract. That's the one that is truly strong like bull, and maybe we'll take a look and see if we can figure out if there's any kind of intraday topping signals. But with regard to the ES Mini right now, just waiting for these charts here to populate. Yeah, I see potential Rhodes momentum indicator top on a 10-minute chart, maybe even the 15-minute chart. No big deal there. The 30-minute chart is in bullish mode. The 60-minute time frame chart is going to form a TD9 count top. So you're on bar number 9 right now. Let me see where bar number 5 is at. So as long as price is able to close above 6309, and as long as it does, and it will do that 6309 at 12 noon, you'll have a TD9 count top. That also says that TD9 count topping pattern doesn't complete until 1 p.m. So you can still get a further rally. That's just an intraday chart signal. That's the ES Mini. We come back from this break. We're going to look at the EWZ, AZZ, the U.S. dollar index, Dow equity future contract for a bunch of profile levels, and GTBIF. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the Opening Call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. So we're going to start off taking a look at the EWZ. This is for GTE out here. GTE, what we've got going on right now in a daily time frame is prices trading below the bottom of its bullish structured daily profile. That'll be the second day below that level. That tells us about a profile change in trend. On a weekly time frame, we have price that ran up towards the it negated its TD9. No, it never had a TD9 count top. I take that back. But seems to have run into resistance near its TD9 count breakdown level of 2960. Where price is headed to now, we're trading below last week's low. Should be its oscillator and change line. That is currently printed at the 27.29 area. As you know, that 29 is going to change, but that's approximately where price is going to head to. Now, if price closes below that, you'd be looking at a move to 26.29, the bottom of its weekly profile. The monthly time frame, not showing us anything negative here. So it's the daily that's driving things. The next level of support comes up on the weekly time frame. You get below that oscillator and change line, you've got 26.29, that's the weekly profile level of support, and 26.70, that's the monthly profile or the next profile support on the monthly time frame. So that's what's going on. We take a look at the EWZ out there. Hope that helps you out. Hector and Patty wrote in. Hector is taking a look at ticker symbol AZZ, just trying to plan for the future as he's noticing that first price is taking out a swing point on a monthly basis, what we're looking at out here. So let's open this up here. We'll start there and then we'll take a look at, just simply overall what the charts are communicating to us. But here, Hector's question is, if price is able to close above the swing point from February 2025. That swing point had 6.2 million shares. Today is July 10th. Today is July 10th. We've done 2 million shares. So it seems like it is a lighter volume move above that swing point. But if you can get it close above the swing point from February 2025, 99.49, that will, in fact, whether it's volume or not, it will most certainly trigger an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. Price projection, you probably have that figured out. It's in the 135 and change level. All right. So that would be the good news. 4 months to the upside is where we're at right now. This would be the 4th month to the upside. So nice and positive there. A bearish reversal candle would confirm a Rhodes momentum indicator top. That's the only thing that you have to worry about in the monthly time frame out there. But whether or not AZZ's got the volume or not, hard to say at this stage here. But maybe you've done the math on that. On a weekly time frame, weekly time frame obviously would have the same kind of pattern. So let's take a look at the weekly chart as it takes out its swing point. And that swing point here on a weekly basis comes from February 21st. And there was 867,000 shares that traded that week. This week so far, we are up with 1.5 million shares. So that's a positive. That's got that same A to B equals CD pattern. We could probably draw in some other ones. So that's a good confirmation that it should continue to rally further because no topping signal. Yes, Rhodes momentum indicator pattern, our signal is present, but that needs a bearish reversal candle. The daily time frame, you are negating a TD9 count top today. You're also in an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside for the daily time frame. So that says just watch now for a bearish reversal candle. If you got that, the daily would tell you that price is getting ready to pull back to support, and support would be either the oscillator and change line, current price 99.69, or the profile support, current price 96.94 out there. So yes, Hector and Patty, look, if you close above a swing point, even if it's lighter volume, you still have the A to B equals CD pad that's triggered. The preference is to do it with conviction, to do it with volume, but we really won't know until we get to July 31st, whatever the last trading day of the month is. So thanks for your request. Hope that answered your question. Always good to hear from you. James writes in and is asking about the U.S. dollar index. Now, because I'm on my white background screens, I don't have today's data. If I put up my black background charts, it's really going to slow it. Oops, Stevie screwed up there. That's okay. I'm going to unscrew it here in a moment. Your question was basically, is the dollar toast? The U.S. dollar index, is the dollar toast? So I'm going to answer that question for you, but we're going to start by taking the charts, and as soon as I can get there, and just some, what I don't do often is provide, we pretty much fundamental reasons for things to possibly occur. When I take a look at here, right, are just the technical patterns. The most fundamental thing about an instrument that we take a look at are really its technical patterns, or at least that's what I believe. So with regard to the U.S. dollar index, if we start with a monthly time frame, what we can see is that we have an A to B equals CD pattern to the downside. The one-to-one price projection would get us down towards a 94.38. So I would say this is likely to bottom between 91.80 and 94.38, or somewhere right around that level out there. What we'd be looking for is some type of bullish reversal candle to confirm a bottom. We're in bar number 5. It is possible that by October, November, December, we have a TD9 count bottom pattern. Now, that would be the ideal bottom. Why would it be ideal, Stevie? Because we look for charting patterns here. When the U.S. dollar index on a monthly basis made its last significant bottom, was January 2021. Guess what pattern was present? The TD9 count pattern. The time before that would take us back into May of 2011 out there. What pattern was present? The TD9 count pattern. Before that, we can come back into April 2008. We've gone back almost 20 years here. What bottom was that? A TD9 count bottom. So first thing, James, the ideal thing would be to be patient here and wait. So this is bar number 5. So bar number 6 would be August, September 7th. 8 would be October. So October, November, December is when we could see the U.S. dollar index bottom out here. So that's what the monthly time frame is showing us. Let's go take a look at the weekly time frame. The weekly time frame is saying, hey, Stevie, I don't know what the Sam heck you're talking about. I'm getting ready to bottom tomorrow. Well, that's a true statement at this moment in time because we've got a Rhodes momentum indicator signal and a bullish engulfing candle. Obviously, what we can see needs to unfold then next is for the U.S. dollar index to trade above and close above that oscillator and change line, currently printed at 98.16 out there. On a daily time frame, you don't see the profile levels here. I've turned off all profile levels for this set of charts, but we are consolidating, and our price was testing the top of that daily profile. It really needs a bullish reversal candle to confirm a bottom. Now, is it toast? I answer to that fundamentally is not even close. I don't understand what a lot of these financial people talk about. I really don't. Now, of course, they may say, I don't understand what that Stevie guy talks about. But let me just give you a little bit of supply and demand. Obi-Wan would love this conversation. Do you know what the U.S. monetary base is? Those of you in the audience, do you know what the U.S. monetary? You can do a quick Google search or some type of search out there, and you're going to find out that it's about, this is basically dollars in circulation. It's around $6 trillion. It's actually less than that. The last time I looked, it was $5-point-something trillion. So that's the first element out there. The second element that I would ask, and we've talked about this before, is what percentage of U.S. dollars, physical U.S. dollars, are in the United States versus overseas? The best guess on that is somewhere about 50%. So the U.S. monetary base, you want to really understand about inflation and dollars and all that type of stuff. Okay, so 50% of that $6 trillion is overseas. Parked in mattresses out there. Why is it parked in mattresses? Not all of it, but a lot of it. Why? Because those currencies over in Europe have been canceled time after time after time, and other currencies around the globe. The U.S. dollar index has never been canceled out there, so that's a currency. Here's the big one before we go to break. How many trillions of dollars of bonds have been issued denominated in U.S. dollars? 18 trillion. Figure like this. You've got a $3 trillion base in U.S. dollars that needs to pay off 18 trillion. No way the U.S. dollar index is toast. Whoever is putting that out there is insane. Doesn't understand monetary policy. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Trader's Edge is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. We're taking a look at ticker symbol GTBIF. This is for peak G inside the Tiger's Den. Peak, this made a trough G bottom. That's the bottom pattern that formed on the monthly time frame, April 2025 out there. So you've got that going for you. What you would like to see now is you'd like to see price close above that monthly oscillator and change line. That looks like it's currently priced at about 650. So 650, figure 655, 660, something like that on a further rally. If price can close above that, we haven't been above the oscillator and change line for over a year. Well, August of 2024, close to a year out there. Now, if price can close above that, that's telling you about a further rally. The weekly chart says I'm ready to rally. It's already rallying. It formed a nice Rhodes momentum indicator bottom pattern. It did that the week of June 27th. And now you have what appears to be a weekly profile change in trend. 2 consecutive closes above 568, we're trading at 630 right now, would accomplish that task. When that task gets accomplished, the signal, this is assuming that the monthly obviously is traded above that red oscillator and change line, then the signal is that it wants to, over an intermediate term time period, make its way to 843. The daily time frame has got a second profile change in trend signal. There's no topping signal that I see at this stage in time. I don't see an A to B equals CD pad to the upside. You're in bar number 3 to the upside. This should continue to rally. Again, this should continue to rally. However, you've got that 650-ish range that price is going to have to overcome in order to prove itself to you. So I hope that helps you out with regard to GTBIF. And as always, yeah, thank you for your request out there. I need to delete those two. Okay, the next question. We talked about the U.S. dollar, but there's also another question. You're welcome, Pete. There was also another question about the euro and what's the euro doing. This is anticipation of traveling over in Europe. And if we take a look at the euro on a daily time frame, I don't really have a, well, let me pull this back a bit. I'll bet you there's a daily sell the D point top that has formed. Yes. So you got a daily sell the D point top that formed when this bearish engulfing candle formed out here on July the 8th. So we know we've got that going for us. Where is price likely targeted on a daily time frame? Well, that target would be down at about $1.14. $1.14 is a TD9 count breakout level. So as the euro is moving lower, the dollar's getting stronger. So if you're traveling over to Europe, now would not be the time to go, go to the store and get euros, because it appears that the euro wants to move lower. If we look at the weekly time frame chart, the weekly time frame chart also has an A to B equals CD pattern. It appears. I don't know if this retracement here between bar 4 and bar 5 is enough of a 0.382 retracement or not. This retracement back here, where price found support of that green oscillator and change line on the week of May 16th, then I know that's not an A to B equals CD, that we have not completed that pattern out there. But in any event, looks like the euro here on a weekly basis wants to pull back towards that 115 level. So that says we get back towards the 114.53 area out there. If we move below that, then there's something else that's going on. The monthly time frame doesn't have any kind of a top, but I will have to assume at this stage of the game it's a daily that's driving the caboose out there. And what I provided you with are the support levels or the price target areas for the euro, and I'd say it's right around the 115-ish area out there. So if you were thinking of going and getting euros, I don't see it in the charts here. Of course, anything can happen in a moment's notice. So I hope that helps you out. Let's go take a look at GSM. This is for Dan inside the Tiger's Den. If we take a look at GSM, this is trading out at 451, and today is going to complete a TD9 count top. That suggests that GSM should pull back to test its oscillator and change line. That is at $4.19. We know that's going to be a little bit lower as price moves back, should price move back. Of course, any close above today's high, I don't know what today's high is. I know what it is right now. I don't know if that's it at day's end, 458. But if it was 458, and you did close above today's high tomorrow or the next day, you negate that daily TD9 count pattern, and that says strong upward momentum move is underway. The weekly time frame, prices trade above profile resistance. It's suggesting it wants to rally further. You had a monthly TD9 count bottom pattern. You're now above profile resistance. As long as it can stay above that level, which is at 439 out there, and you're trading at 451, that is a bullish outcome. So it's really going to be the daily, Dan, that's going to be the question mark with regard to the TD9 count and how it gets handled. But I would say it's probably not more than a pullback to the $4.16 mark out there. That is GSM. You also want to take a look at GTM out here. So let's go see what GTM is doing. It is trading out at $10.45. On a monthly basis, you're trading with inside this profile. It's got a sell zone between 11.39 and 12.22 out there. Needs a bullish reversal candle to confirm a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom. A Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom has been confirmed on the weekly time frame, and now price is dealing with profile levels. So your next battleground is 1060. Above that, it's 1140. And this is coming from the weekly time frame chart, and above that, it's 1284. So those are the battles above. On a daily time frame has a TD9 count pattern that could be negated today. So the TD9 count takes us back to May 13th, and the high is 1047. We're trading at 1046. If price can close above 1047 today, Dan, that negates that signal. What I see also sets up an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside out there, and would suggest that we would have higher price. So it looks like this is really pushing towards higher price, but this is not going to, it looks like, but you've also got these battles up ahead. The next battle, by the way, if the A to B equals CD pattern forms on the daily time frame, would be 1117. That's a TD9 count breakdown resistance. So you've got a turbulent move higher out there, but it does look like price does want to move higher. And that was for ticker symbol GTM. Hope that provided you with the info that you were looking for there. Oh, my pleasure. Bob in Spokane is interested in ENVX. So let's see if we can pull that up on our screen out here. ENVX. Where did Stevie put it? This might be it. It is. ENVX is attempting to negate a daily TD9 count top that formed 2 days ago. If it closes above 1404, you're at 1415 right now, it will negate that signal and tell you about a strong upward momentum move. Where's that strong upward momentum move going to take us to? That's really a great question. What I'd have to go with is the most recent swing point on a weekly time frame, and that's from January 10th, which had volume of 54 million shares. This week so far, we're up with 53 million shares. So you're pushing into that swing point with volume. Bob, what ENVX weekly chart is telling you is that price wants to make a run for 1620. That's what I see on the weekly time frame. What I see on the daily time frame and the monthly time frame is bullish with price trade above profile resistance at 1183. So everything looks pretty darn good for ENVX, and you'd love to see that TD9 count top fail today. And again, in order to do that, you need to close about 1404. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We come back to this break. We're going to take a look at OKLO for Bob as well. NP for Dennis. And Dennis has a second one. I'm going to go find out what that is. We'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direction. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direction.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direction.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. Let's take a look at OKLO. This is for Bob inside the Tiger's Den. OKLO is trading out at 54.35, and it is trading with inside its daily profile. So your support level here, Bob, is at 53.02, resistance being 61.84. It's got a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. It closed below. It's also triggered an A to B equals CD pattern to the downside. Did it take out the B point with volume? The B point had 19 million shares. It was taken out with 13 million, and then again with 10 million shares. So there is an A to B equals CD pattern to the downside that you should be aware of. Of course, that's not going to continue until price gets below it's the bottom of its current profile out there. That A to B equals CD would get you down towards about the 43.26 level. Okay, so we've got that established. You got a TD9 count top on the weekly time frame. Now, what the weekly time frame chart is communicating to us is this could be a potential bottom. Why? Because yesterday price got back tested, as well as today, has tested and rejected the screen oscillator and change line. So the weekly chart is neutral. The daily chart is not neutral, but the weekly chart is neutral. The reason the daily chart's not neutral is because we really don't have a level of support. That level of support of that profile didn't come into being until after the A to B equals CD pattern to the downside had been triggered out there. The monthly time frame, you know what, the data that we've got here looks pretty good. I don't have any kind of a top or anything along those lines out there. So it's really the weekly and the daily time frame chart. Now, on a weekly basis, you are trading with inside profile. Fairly wide profile, Bob. 39.24 is support. 68.65 is your resistance area there. So that's what I see when I take a look at OKLO. I'd have to say watch that 51.77. Watch that oscillator and change line for the weekly time frame. You close below that, then that A to B equals CD to the downside more likely comes through fruition out there. Let's go take a look at ticker symbol MP. This is for Dennis in West Palm Beach. MP is currently printing out at 43.85. It is... It's confirming an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside today. It has a swing point with volume of 18 million shares. So far, we've done 57 million shares today. Now, that's a fairly large A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. Let's go ahead and draw it in approximately, the A to B point out here. So there's our A to B point. Let's just move this over to that C point. That's the lowest low, was the TD9 count bottom. And the A to B would get us up towards the 49.83 level out there. That does not mean that's where price is going to stop. That just says as we get up towards that level, if you were to see a bearish reversal candle, that would identify a sell the D point top. The weekly time frame is in good shape. You are trading above profile resistance at 35.01 with no topping pattern. The monthly time frame looks great. Price is trading above its TD9 count breakdown area at 36.67. It's trading heading into a swing point, albeit just the 10th of July. The swing point on a monthly basis has volume of 81 million shares. So far, we've done, 95 million shares. You're pushing into that swing point with volume. What this tells us, Dennis, is that price over time wants to go tackle that swing high. That swing high is at $60.19. So I hope that helps you out. And, you had another request out there as well. That's to take a look at ticker symbol GOLD. So let's get this up on our screen, see what GOLD is doing. It's trading right now at 1940 on a daily time frame, and it's running into resistance. Oh, wait, that was May. This is not an instrument that's trading. Maybe you wanted to see the gold contract? That's right. Let me put up the gold contract for you. So we're in August, still here. We'll just put up the gold contract. But all we've really got here is a consolidation with inside the daily profile. I mean, there's not much else going on at this stage of the game. It's all up to the daily profile. Look, you've got a weekly, a monthly, and a daily top inside of gold. And you can see the price is traded between $32.99.50, that's support, $33.97.50 out there. So just a good old-fashioned consolidation. Gold is really about the daily time frame out there. And not until either side breaks, profile side, is it going to tell us what its next intent truly is out there. Nitram writes in, would like to take a look at ticker symbol OSCR. So we take a look at OSCR. This is trading right now at 1605. It's trading below profile support, trading below its green oscillator and change line for its daily time frame, has a Rhodes momentum indicator top out there. Likely price wants to head lower. Now this is bar number 6. That says that you could get a TD9 count bottom pattern that would form next week, especially if it continues to move lower. So Nitram, today's bar number 6, tomorrow's bar number 7. Why don't we take a look at this on Tuesday when bar number 9 would be forming out there? Not that we can't look at it sooner, but it looks, if you're looking to get into this, that's the pattern right now that I see that you would be waiting for. The weekly time frame price is testing support, and that's its oscillator and change line. The price closes below the oscillator and change line. That number, by the way, is at 1610. If we close below 1610, we're likely going to see a move towards 1363 to 1479 out there. The monthly time frame chart also testing oscillator and change line support. That's at 1574. So let's make 1574-ish that key level to be watching with regard to whether or not OSCR is going to continue to move to the downside and perhaps go ahead and complete that daily TD9 count bottom pattern. So hope that helps you out. Lee writes in, LB wants to take a look at ticker symbol NG. Now, I'm assuming you want to look at NG, not natural gas out there. That could be a bad assumption. It wouldn't be the first bad assumption that Stevie's made. Today is going to be bar number 8 if price closes above $4.52. We're at $4.64. Now, bar number 8 needs to poke its head above $4.71. The high of the day, $4.70. We've got to poke its head above $4.71 today, tomorrow, or the next day in order to trigger a TD9 count topping pattern out there. The weekly time frame has got resistance at its breakdown level. That's at $4.78. It ran in that resistance level with that wide-ranging bar in April 26th. Another wide-ranging bar on June the 6th out there. So it looks like that is a logistical price target out there. Whether it can get through there or not, that I don't know. The monthly time frame, that's the April time frame, had 51 million shares, followed by 39 million shares so far for the month. In just a few days of trading, we're at 11 million shares. No idea where we're going to be at month end. You're really watching the daily time frame out there to see if, in fact, it forms that TD9 count top. If it doesn't form that, that's a beautiful thing. But what you then would need to see is you would need to see a close above, it's got another TD9 count top all the way back here in April on a daily time frame. And that's in the price range between 461 and 506. That's the swing point. We are trading, that has volume of 6.4 million shares. On a daily basis today, we're trading inside that. 607,000 shares. Yesterday, 3.3 million. Going into this swing point, that's got 6.4. So it's moving higher with lighter volume. I would say here we've got to wait to see if the TD9 count on the daily time frame takes hold or not. If it doesn't, I'd say that price is likely to rally, but we know price is rallying into a swing point with lighter volume out there. 478 is going to be the key resistance level. period, end of story. Now that is ticker symbol NG. We come back from this break to finish out the show. We're going to take the WD and CNC from Mohammed. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, folks. I believe I overlooked taking a look at the Dow instruments. That was for Rahul inside the Tiger's Den. So I think I gave you the daily information, the TD9 count top and profile levels out there. The weekly time frame has got profile resistance, which we're trading above at 44,787. The TD9 count breakdown level, which is where the Dow equity future contract is targeting, is 45,426. You do have a successful bar number 8 as we come into the noon hour. That says that you could get a TD9 count top between 12 noon and 2 p.m. today using the 60-minute time frame chart out there. What else do I see? Nothing else of significance for you. So my apology for overlooking that. Hopefully that provides you the information that you were looking for. Now let's go back to those other requests, see if I can get through them, do them in a quicker manner out. The first one is going to be WD. Give me a moment. I got to change my screen out there. So at least I've got that taken care of. There we go. WD for Mohammed. WD is taken on a TD9 count top. It needs to close above today, 75.47. If it does that, it negates that TD9 count top and sets up an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. You've got volume today of 73,000 shares so far. It's going into 213,000, so a little bit light in the way of volume. If it is able to close above that TD9 count top, in addition to a to B equals CD pattern to the upside, the weekly will suggest a run up towards 78.33. That's its profile resistance level. You have profile resistance on a monthly at 77.04, and then 86.46 is the oscillator on change line. If we take a look at CNC out here, CNC is trading out at, put a big gap to the downside a couple days ago. I don't see a bottom signal out here. You're in bar number 8 on a weekly basis. Last time this formed a bottom on a weekly was a bar following bar number 9, so maybe you got a couple more weeks on this one. Looks horrible. Looks just ugly and fugly out there. So the best thing might be that weekly time frame chart. And then lastly, see if I can squeeze this in, ICLN. Let's see what this is doing here. I see a nice weekly bottom, a daily TD9 count top with price finding support and screen oscillator and change line. GT, this may have a bottomed out there. Folks, stay tuned for all the great programming. I'll see you tomorrow early. Tomorrow I'll be recording the show between 8 and 9. Please join me between 8 and 9 a.m. tomorrow. Have a terrific Thursday, and I'll see you on Fabulous and Fantastic Friday.